NATO maintains it's got allies completely covered.
NATO will protect every inch of Allied territory.
But can it? NATO has forces and firepower pre-positioned in 8 allies along its eastern flank. But if Russia were to attack, for example, the narrow gap between Belarus and Kaliningrad, known as the Suwalki Corridor, with the aim to cut off the Baltic states.
We cannot move fast enough. I think this is very dangerous. If the Russians can see, and they're aware, that we could not get to, let's say, the Suwalki Corridor or the Focșani Gate down in Romania as fast or faster than Russian Federation forces could get there.
Retired General Ben Hodges is an expert in military mobility and, to his chagrin, immobility. From the years he was charged with ensuring American troops and their equipment could respond quickly to threats. Loads of red tape and lack of transport capacity topped his list of woes.
You cannot even move a convoy across Germany without special permissions. There's not enough rail cars and DB Cargo, Deutsche Bahn Cargo, to move more than 1.5 armor brigades all over Europe simultaneously. That's nothing compared to what we would need.
And then there's the lack of intergovernmental communication. Hodges recalls a special moment in 2017 when U.S. paratroopers were dropped into Bulgaria for a training exercise.
We discovered at the last minute that the Bulgarian Ministry of Interior, responsible for their borders, were going to have officials out on the drop zone and expect to see the passport of every paratrooper as if they had just gotten off a Lufthansa flight. And I was like, what?
Another issue is infrastructure, such as bridges and roads that can't bear the weight of heavy tanks or tunnels which are too narrow. Fixing these problems was long ago identified as a key area where NATO and the European Union could and actually had to work together. The alliance needs the access. The EU has control over regulations and funds for logistical upgrades in member states. But after years of plans, task forces, and projects, and now a war next door, the potential remains largely on paper. Policy analyst Mihai Chihaya spent months researching the current state of military mobility and was dismayed at his findings.
Definitely I was surprised, given how many years has passed since military mobility became a priority at the EU level. Not much has happened. Just to give you an example, currently at the EU level, the objective is to reach maximum 5 working days to get permission to cross borders. That's quite a lot, right? They want to make 3 for rapid reaction forces.
5 working days waiting on paperwork for each country that would need to be crossed. That's the goal. Meanwhile, Moscow has no such barriers. And Chihaya points out the necessary changes in Europe won't happen overnight.
It's a continuous process that takes years. So if we had started, 15 years ago, now it would have been better. If we start now, we'll see important results maybe in 10 years.
General Hodges says the new military plans to be adopted at NATO's Vilnius summit should lead to a big improvement because possible wartime responsibilities will be assigned by regions, reducing transport times. But he's still worried.
Until everybody gets serious and understands why this is to the benefit of the alliance for deterrence, it's going to continue to be seen as some sort of bureaucratic thing that just needs to be sorted out.
He says it's past time now to get serious.